What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. We had a technical glitch there. There was an echo. I don't know where the echo is coming from, but hey, I mean the show must go on. I feel like there was a sound that was there behind, so I feel like that was the reason why there was an issue. But let me see if we can get back. We can get back on the topic that we had in hand. So today we're gonna be looking at the Suns versus Clippers series and give a rundown on what happened in the game, as well as a brief rundown on the Milwaukee Bucks versus the Atlanta Hawks series, and also the NBA draft lottery. So without further ado, man, let me get in. Let me get Moses here real quick. Hi, Moses. Hello. Oh, he's on mute.
Oh, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hey guys, is Victor back?
Victor is not back. I've sent him the link. Yeah, I've sent him the link.
Yeah.
Let me also post it in the comment section so that guys can even join in the conversation. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So
Uh,
so to,
what are we saying about the Suns and
so
Clippers game?
I mean, there's so much to unpack. I mean, there's the fact that they've been down 0-2 in every team that they faced in this postseason. They were 0-2 with the Dallas Mavericks in the first round, and they also
Yeah.
0-2 with the Jazz. I mean,
This is nothing new. This is nothing new for them.
true. But I think Tyronn Lue knows how to go down 0-2 because them in the 2016 finals with the
Finals.
Warriors,
Yeah.
they were down 0-2 as well. So I mean,
He always makes adjustments.
yeah.
He always makes adjustments. He'll know what to do. If there's anyone you can't count out, it is Tyronn Lue,
I mean
based
that
on his
guy.
history. Mm.
I mean that guy, man. I feel like okay, the Clippers. I feel like they miss Paul George a lot. No, they don't miss Paul George. Excuse me, they miss Kawhi
Kawhi.
Leonard. They miss the claw a lot because, as you can see, PG on his own, I don't think he can. He has like what it takes to take that team to the finals
The
because right now they
finals.
need
Yeah.
they need 7 games. They need to go 6 or 7 games, but it's gonna be a tough ask. Are you telling me the Clippers are going to win like four straight to beat the Suns the way the Suns have been
I
playing?
mean, on my part, I'm looking at Monty Williams. How the hell did this guy not win Coach of the Year? Because I mean, he's taking this team. I mean, as far as anyone would have guessed. I mean, they're in the finals. They're just. I mean, they're in the conference finals. They've just taken a 2-0 lead. I mean, this guy's going under the radar. He's done a magnificent job over there, and they're playing
No,
awesome with no Chris Paul. So as much as I'm looking at Tyronn Lue, you have to look at the opposite, the other side. Monty Williams, what a coach! What a coach that
I
guy
mean,
is.
they only gave it the Coach of the Year to Tom Thibodeau just because of the Knicks and the improvement of the Knicks and the six man of the not the six man of most improved player in Julius Randle. I feel like Monty Williams deserved that award. I mean, if it comes down to me, if fans were allowed to vote for these awards, I mean, in like 100%, I will give Monty Williams because what he has done with this Suns team, with Chris Paul, Devin Booker, DeAndre, I mean, their games have elevated to a point where these guys are unbeaten since game 5,
Yeah,
game 6 in the first round with the Lakers. These guys are yet to lose a game.
and they did finish as the first seed in the
No,
West. They were
sec-
number one.
second
Oh,
seed.
it's you.
Number
Oh,
one,
it's Utah Jazz. Oh yeah,
eh,
My
they
bad,
don't.
my bad.
Yeah,
It was
I mean,
it
it
was
was
Utah
Utah.
Jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I mean, these guys, man, they just turned it around, and they are back to the Western Conference Finals from 2010. You remember 2010 West Finals? It was Lakers versus
yeah,
Suns. So they
yeah.
went.
I
They made sure
remember.
So it's Lakers. So it's sorry, not Lakers. So it's Suns versus Clippers in the West Finals. I feel like
Yeah.
for some reason I feel like they are going to go up 3-0. I
I don't
don't.
know. I don't know about counting Tyronn Lue out. I'm sure they are really missing Kawhi because for me, Paul George is a good player, but for me, he's just a Robin. He's a number two guy. He's not the guy to take them to the finals. The guy to take the last shot. I mean, he missed two free throws, two very crucial free throws to just close out the game. He didn't even hit one. He just needed to hit one of them. It was just
Oh,
wow.
he.
It was just sad to see.
I mean, this guy clutch free throws. He missed them. I mean, then you remember the DeAndre Ayton game winner, that alley
Yeah,
oop.
yeah,
Also, the Suns have a similar play with Tyson Chandler doing the same
yeah.
move
But
that DeAndre Ayton did.
yeah, I saw that. I saw that. When was that? 2017. Which year? 2018. Tyson
I think
Chandler
it
did
was
that same thing.
2018.
Which year
Yes, I
was it?
think.
2018.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure what year was it, but I think it was 2018. That time, Tyson Chandler was on the Suns. I feel it was 2018 before he was bought out and he signed with the Lakers. You remember? There's a point when Tyson Chandler was in the Lakers,
Yeah,
but
yeah. I remember that.
like late 2018, early 2019. I feel like it was right around that time. I'm yet to confirm it, but hey, they're very good play, game winning play, similar. I mean,
For me,
then Cameron. Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
was saying before the series began, we were talking about DeAndre Ayton needing to have a big game. For me, he's come through. He has really come through. The first two games, really solid games by him, and for him to get the game win on game two, a game where Devin Booker maybe didn't perform up to his standards, although it was still a pretty good game by him. It's big. He's doing what he's supposed to do. So for me, DeAndre Ayton, props for him. Props on him because we knew Clippers like small ball and maybe they would try and do that, target him. But they realized that doesn't work. They brought Zubac back for game two to begin the game because they realized DeAndre Ayton is a no scrub. He's no scrub.
Yeah, true. I feel like guys, you were counting DeAndre Ayton out way back in 2019. They were saying that this guy is overrated. He shouldn't have gone number one. But right now, I feel like this guy just took up the challenge and he's balling out. As you can see in the 2018 draft class, the only guy
Yeah,
who's underperformed is Marvin Bagley, the number two pick for
yeah.
the Sacramento Kings. DeAndre Ayton, Luka Doncic, Trey Young, bro. Those guys are, they came out
They're doing
strong.
it
I mean,
big.
but
They're
Marvin
doing it big.
Bagley,
In
like,
fact, Bagley, I was a real strong prospect. It's so I don't know what went wrong there, but it's once you begin your career in the NBA with injuries, it's just really tough to go from there. I think he began with injuries the first year, the second year's had a few niggling injuries, so he's never really recovered from that. For me, he just needs a change of teams. Is he still with the Kings? He just needs to get out of the
I mean, Marvin Bagley is still with the Kings, right? I feel like Marvin
yeah.
Bagley, some sources they were comparing him and De'Aaron Fox to Russell Westbrook and Kevin Durant, which onto my next point. Like Moses, I feel like these guys, these
Yeah,
analysts, do a great
yeah.
disservice to these young players when you compare them to all-time greats. Let's say, for example, Devin Booker, what he's doing in the playoffs. You compare it to
Yeah.
Kobe Bryant. You know how big those shoes are to fill. If you're telling Devin
It's
Booker
not
to be a
fair.
Kobe Bryant, it's not fair to
Yeah,
them. I feel like just
it's not fair
appreciate
at
Devin
all.
Booker and just say,
Yeah,
let Devin Booker be Devin Booker. That's the reason why I don't like
exactly.
participate. Bro, I don't like participating in like these
Comparisons.
LeBron versus Jordan because I mean LeBron is his own guy
I,
and Jordan
they
is
were
his
say,
own
they were saying
Kobe.
they were saying Ben Simmons is the next LeBron. I mean, you know, back when he came through in 2016, they were saying, "Hey, this is the next LeBron, the big guy. He comes, he's strong, he finishes well. It was just you can't compare. You can't compare Marvin Bagley to a KD. He's never been a KD, even in college, even in high school. I mean, KD is KD. So
I mean,
I digress.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, and it's okay. I mean, this is the whole situation. Then also So the other reports coming in about the Ben Simmons situation, Stephen A. Smith, according to his sources, are saying that Ben Simmons is always babied in the locker room. They handle him with gloves. They don't like, they like pampering him. They don't like they just cater to him. They don't challenge him to like get better in this locker room. So, what's your take on that?
Mm-hmm. I mean, I remember a certain player, Kobe Bryant. He came through from high school. He was very, very, you would say he was a bit soft, but he came through. He had vets pushing him. He had guys giving him a hard time. He had to learn. He had to build this so-called Mamba mentality, be strong mentally, and for him to become the player that he was in, like, in his prime, 206, 207. He really had to. So if you're pampering a prospect like the way you're telling me Ben Simmons has been pampered, because Ben Simmons came, he was a golden child from the word go. The media loved him. He was rookie of the year. They had already given it to him before even he started to bounce a ball. So he's really had it easy. For Ben Simmons, his problem is his mentality. He has a really weak mentality. He does not have a strong bone in his body. This guy can't take over a game. We don't. I mean, even analysts, even his coach told the reporters they don't know what they're going to do with him. It was just for me. It's not a good thing. It's not something that I want to hear from the Sixers organization. So that's not what the fans need to hear from the Sixers after such a loss to Trae Young and the Hawks.
Yeah, so I feel like the Ben Simmons situation. We're gonna get more information when we hit the off season. After the finals come to a close, when we hit the off season, I'm pretty sure reports are gonna come in like what's gonna go down with Ben Simmons, because I mean every Philadelphia 76ers fan are angry with Ben Simmons. They do not like that guy at all, because I mean they even started burning his jerseys. So
I mean, it was predictable. I mean, we talked about this before even the game. I told you Ben Simmons wasn't going to have a good game. I didn't think he was going to adjust. Didn't think he was going to come out, and he did exactly what I thought. I he did exactly what I thought he was going to do. So just to predict that and for that to happen, for him not to like change it up a bit since he was having such an awful series. I mean, I saw a stat. I didn't know. I don't know if you saw this. In all the games from game 1 to game 7, in all the fourth quarters, he only took three shots. Three
yes, I
shots
saw
in
that.
all the fourth quarters.
My God, I
How
mean
is
that was
that possible?
bro. Remember, Ben Simmons was the
Yeah,
first. This was the number one pick in the 2016
yeah,
draft. The number one
yeah,
pick
yeah.
doing all these. Oh my God! If I'm the
Wow.
Sixers president, I'd be just pulling out of all my hair out, because I'd be like, "What's going on?" We had Ben Simmons, we had Markel Fultz. I mean, they're all showing
Yeah,
the only guy who like they scored big with the Sixers, courtesy of Sam Hinkie and his tanking, is Joel
y-
Embiid.
yeah,
All the
yeah.
others. I mean, these GM who came
They
in and
had Dario.
traded.
They had Dario Saric. They had Dario
Yes,
Saric. Don't forget about
they
him.
they traded Dario Saric away. He was
Yeah,
involved in the Jimmy Butler trade, to sending Jimmy
yeah,
But
yeah,
when they acquired Jimmy Butler in way back in 2018. But bro, I mean,
yeah.
this is pretty sad, because out of the okay, what am I trying to say? I feel like the Sixers,
Out
the
of all
Sixers
those
after
draft picks, yeah, draft
I
picks.
mean, it just came back. And also remember, they traded down for Markel. They traded down their pick with Boston, because Boston had the 2017 first pick, but they traded with Philadelphia 76, and then Boston have Jason Tatum. So that means if they
Yeah,
drafted Jason Tatum, it will be a different
yeah,
story. They wouldn't be having this issue. But I feel like
yeah,
Jason Tatum wouldn't have developed as the star he is right now if he was with the Sixers
yeah,
franchise, because Sixers franchise don't know how to develop talent. I don't
yeah.
feel
They've
like
shown
they
it.
have that ability. They don't have it
For me,
in them. So
for me with Joel Embiid, they really hit the jackpot right there, and they should just be doing everything to surround him. He should be the star centerpiece. Surround him with pieces that they can work from, and just go from there. You know,
yeah, yeah,
like
true. Because yeah, go
yeah.
go ahead, go ahead.
I was saying like Ben Simmons, they should really look to trade Ben Simmons for like a wing guy, a wing guy that can complement Joel Embiid. They should be trading Ben Simmons with Joel Embiid at the back of their minds. They should be thinking, who are we going to bring in to complement this star player, this all star, this MVP candidate. So I'm going to be looking at that in the off
I mean,
season.
Moses, understand that
Yeah,
Joel Embiid is eligible for a supermax extension. And here's let me just run down the money real quick. So in the 2021-2022 season, this next season, is set to
yeah.
be earning with his current contract 31.6
Mm.
million. 2022
Wow.
2023
Mm.
33.6 million. When he signs that max deal, maybe in this off season, that means this
Mm.
guy will be earning in 2023-2024 season alone
Yeah.
42.5 million, right?
Oh wow.
2020, 2024 2025 45.9
Yeah.
million. 2025 2026 49.3 million. And in his last season with the Supermax, 52.7 million, bro. I mean, if this guy signs that max, they have to cut
Yeah.
Ben Simmons because I feel like to be able to like utilize a guy like Joel Embiid at the post,
Yeah.
Ben Simmons has to go. He has to go.
Yeah. And
He
you
has to
saw
show.
Ben Simmons signed a 5-year contract of 177
I'm, I'm telling you
177.
right now, right right now the Sixers franchise owe him 149 million. I mean, this guy. But I also, but also, I feel like
uh,
if the Sixers were very smart, they will try to
yeah.
steal either a CJ McCollum from the Blazers. What you think about that?
Yeah, exactly. I had a few rumors about them going for like a wing guy, a guy who can score on the perimeter. So that's CJ McCollum. Then I had a very interesting other guy. This other guy, I don't know if you guys are even thinking about him. That's Zach Lavine from the Bulls. What do you think about Zach Lavine from the Bulls? Because CJ McCollum is a great piece, but Zach Lavine is younger. He wants to move to the next level. He's going to be more hungrier than CJ. I don't think CJ is a bad player. I'm just thinking they should go with Zach Lavine. I think he's a better fit. What
Yeah,
do you think about that?
I feel Zach Lavine is a good get, but it's for that trade to like work in. I feel like
Yeah.
okay, is his contract up? I feel like has he signed an extension?
Uh, I'm
I
not
feel like
sure about that. Yeah.
I feel like I'm
Yeah.
not sure the details of his contract, but I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look them up later. But I
Yeah.
think the Bulls, if the Bulls are gonna deal with the Sixers, because
Yeah.
considering the fact that Ben Simmons' contract is actually very huge, 30 million every season. So that
Yeah.
means
Yeah.
you have to match salaries. If it's Zach Lavine, I'm pretty sure Zach Lavine is earning like 20 million or 20 million. You have to throw in a couple of, the Bulls have to like throw in a couple of things. But it's not gonna be a good fit for Ben Simmons because we've got Kobe White inside there. He's their starting point guard. So
Wow. Yeah.
that's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem. Also, I feel like as much as we
Yeah.
want Ben Simmons to go somewhere, his
Yeah.
gameplay and his style of play, it's hard to
Yeah.
fit in an offense, especially in this current NBA age, because you can see, even if they're gonna deal with the Bulls, what you gonna do with Kobe White?
Wow, I was talking about Zach Lavine because Zach Lavine was eligible for an extension this off season, which they're saying is going to decline. There's no way he's taking that extension with the Bulls, seeing as the Bulls haven't really gotten anywhere in the East, and don't look like they're going to get because the East is getting stronger. So they'd probably be looking to trade him so that they can get at least something for him because he's not going to sign an extension and he's like ready to play in the playoffs. He's like I'm looking at him like the way I was looking at Devin Booker before this season. He really wants to play in the playoffs. He really wants to compete. He thinks he's a big dog. He wants to be with the big boys in the playoffs. So he's the guy to go for. CJ McCollum. I'm looking at CJ McCollum, I'm not saying he's exactly like Seth Curry, but Zach Lavin will offer more. Yeah, but for the Bulls, like you say, the Bulls, yeah, I don't know if they're going to be the best destination for Simmons. They could take him on, then look to trade him again. But for me, if I'm the Sixers organization, I'm looking at the Bulls like, hey, what are you guys doing with Zach Lavine? Might we talk? May we be able to talk about this?
And also, off the top of my head, what if they swapped? What if the Sixers and Kings went to a deal to get
Mm.
Ben Simmons for De'Aaron Fox? What about that?
Wow, De'Aaron Fox. I even forgot about that guy. What a player. De'Aaron Fox would come in, want to play point guard. For me, I'm thinking the Sixers don't need a point guard because they have a lot of options. They have Shake Milton. They have another player. I think I'm forgetting. I think they don't. I don't think they should go for a point guard. I really don't think they should go for a point guard. They should go for a perimeter guy, a number two guy, a shooting guard, or yeah, a shooting guard, because they also have Tobias Harris, who I don't think they're going to like take him away from
Tobias
the
Harris.
team.
I mean, Tobias Harris already signed to that 5 year 180. Was it 180 or 190 million extension? I mean,
Yeah,
I mean this
no
Elton
one
Brand.
is taking that on.
I'm
No one is
telling you,
taking that
Elton
on.
Brand.
They're stuck with that
Elton.
guy. Yeah.
I mean, Elton Brand just threw money at these people in the 2019 offseason. My Jesus, the contract that he
no
was
one is
given, he gave. My
no one is
God.
taking Tobias Harris away from the Sixers, so they're stuck with him as maybe the three or the four. So I'm thinking they need a two. Seth Curry is nice off the bench and maybe he could start a couple of games, but they should go for like a scoring guy. Because if you're going to take Ben Simmons away from the team, you don't want to bring another point guard, another guy who just brings the ball up. You want to bring a guy who's going to score, a guy who's going to give you 25 points per game, maybe even 23, 24. They need a Zach Lavine, they need a CJ McCollum. So not really a point guard. If I was the Sixers, I wouldn't go for a point. I would go for a scoring guy. Number two to Joel Embiid.
Yeah, true. Because I,
Yeah.
I mean that whole Sixers situation. I feel like the way they got rid of Al Horford was a plus for me because I felt like, okay, they got Al Horford. What if, okay, they got Al Horford, then they signed in Dwight Howard. So I feel like they had to get the front court was too loaded, and especially when you got Ben Simmons, who is your point guard, and he can also play he's a 1, 4, and 5 who can shoot.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Yeah.
if I was the Sixers GM, man, this would be a nightmare for me because I'm trying to see who am I gonna get rid of? Who am I gonna, get? It's pretty difficult
for
right now.
for them getting rid of Al Horford was the best thing because I don't think he was
Yeah,
giving them anything. Al Horford was just there taking up a lot of space and money. So getting rid of them was a big deal. And then Dwight Howard was a plus because he was coming in with experience, just winning the championship, and he was willing to take a backseat to Joel Embiid. So he was a really big plus. That was a really good trade for them. On the
I
on
mean,
the on the point guard situation, I'm looking at the Sixers. They also have George Hill as part of the
yes,
team.
he's
Yeah.
coming off the
So
bench.
yeah, and it's
I
coming
mean,
off so the point guard situation. I don't think they need another point guard for me. Yeah,
you can't buy out Ben Simmons. I mean, that's a lot of money. You can't
yeah,
buy
you
him
can't
out.
really can't.
I
But
mean, it's
but I had a lot of teams who are looking at him saying they could develop him. They were there. I'm sure they have a lot of there are a lot of interesting parties for him because I think you just have to fit him in the right environment. For Sixers, there's a lot of pressure coming in. They want him to be the number two guy. Maybe you take him somewhere where there isn't as much pressure. Maybe you don't give him a lot of load. So a lot of teams are interested. I don't think that there's no interest for him in the NBA. I think there are a lot of interesting teams. It's just what do the Sixers get back? The Sixers need to be selfish. They need to think about themselves, and they really need to go for a scoring guy. I really who's ready to take the next level in their career.
Yeah, true. And speaking of these franchises like making the worst decisions, look at
Yeah.
How about the Boston Celtics? They pulled the trigger on Kemba Walker. They traded Kemba Walker to the
Wow.
Oklahoma
Yeah.
City Thunder to bring back Al Horford, who they let walk. I mean,
That
how
made no
ironic is
sense.
that?
That made
I
no
mean
sense at all.
Danny Ainge, bro, Danny Ainge. I mean, what are you doing? What are you
I
doing?
had I had Danny Ainge had left the Celtics. I had he left the
Yes,
Celtics.
he stepped. I'm saying, not
Yeah.
Danny Ainge stepped down as the Celtics president of basketball operations, but his decisions
Yeah.
still remain in Celtics history, and here's why. I feel like he
Oh.
believed too
Uh,
much. He believed too much in his draft picks in Jason Tatum, which
yeah.
is not a bad thing, right? But when
Yeah. Yeah.
Kyrie Irving, when he left the Boston Celtics,
Yeah.
Danny Ainge looked to replace Kyrie with another point guard. Just put another Paul
Yeah.
dominant guard there just to replace Kyrie and show Kyrie that we don't need you. So
Yeah.
the whole thing backfired. I think it backfired pretty much because Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown proved that the Celtics franchise needed to center their offense and play around. They had to build around them. So right now, I mean, the Celtics have egg on their face because they made a move that was detrimental to their future because they're giving Kemba Walker 35 million. That's a lot of money on the cap, you know. 35 million a season. I mean, it was pretty difficult, bro. What you think?
For Kemba Walker, I think the whole Kemba Walker project was is really heartbreaking to even think about, because I think another thing that contributed to him getting traded was his injuries. He started becoming very injury prone, especially this season. Started getting injured a lot, and the Celtics were just, they didn't see a scenario where this would end up. He would come back and they would end up, as a big team in the East. So I think they're going all out on Jason Tatum and Jalen Brown, because Jalen Brown took another step this season. He was amazing during the whole season. So I think they just go with those two guys, and the the Kemba Walker project. They just wanted to get rid of him because of all his injuries, and but to bring Al Horford, I think they just brought Al Horford because of the experience. Don't think they even brought him because a lot of contribution on the court. I think experience number one for them, bringing back Al Horford. But just taking Kemba Walker going to the OKC, I think it's good for him. He just needed his own team, somewhere where he wouldn't have as much pressure, like the situation he had at the Hornets. So I think it is, for me. After much thought on it, I think it's a good trade on both parties.
But remember, Al Horford was
Yeah,
already with the Celtics. He
yeah,
was
he
already
was
he
when they
already
were actually
so they
competing
were actually good.
strongly.
I mean, he was already
Yeah,
with the Celtics. So I mean, that was like you let a guy walk, then you trade him
yeah.
back. I mean, doesn't make sense to me now, does it?
I'm starting
What
to
are
wonder
you?
if that was the only offer they got, because that is not really a good offer. But I'm wondering if they just wanted to get rid of him. This is just the only offer they got. The first thing they took it. Doesn't make
I
any sense.
mean, but Moses, remember in the
Yeah,
2020 off season, Danny
yeah,
Ainge, when he was the president, was shopping Kemba Walker. I mean, the reports were out. I mean, if you
yeah,
check the reports, bro, I mean, they were literally like, they were shopping him, but they found no suitors. They found no suitors even in the trade deadline. So this was their last,
yeah,
like last resort, last option. Because you can see even in his playoffs, bro, he was the reason
yeah,
why the Celtics weren't able to make it past the Miami Heat in the 2020 East Finals. And
yeah.
also, his play was so bad until sometimes I feel like he was rendered unplayable because Jason Tatum was shining too much. And Kemba Walker there's this outing he scored like 6 points. I mean, it was hard. I mean, it was very, very hard for Kemba Walker to to come back to his
Kemba,
honest days. You remember?
Kemba Walker, especially in that game, when Kemba Walker is out, Kemba Walker, every time Kemba Walker steps on the court, he's looking to score. No, even if he misses like 20 shots, he's still looking to score on the next possession. So that's a trait that maybe the Celtics in the playoffs, in the conference finals, weren't so fond of, weren't so keen on. So that's Kemba Walker's mentality. He could have 6 points and still want to take the last shot in the game. He's not somebody who's going to delegate. So them just moving him on was just a good thing for both parties. Kemba Walker just needs to step back, maybe get back to his MVP form in a team such as OKC. We're looking to build and are looking for a guy who's going to lead them on the court. So Kemba Walker can be that guy.
Yeah, man. But Kemba, I mean, his play, his stay with his stay with the Celtics was for the 2 seasons he has played there. I mean, he really underachieved. I mean, he didn't hit.
Yeah,
He wasn't the same when he signed that max deal with the Celtics. He was never the same. Yeah. So, I
yeah.
mean, it was pretty bad. But just
It was
moving,
his
just
knees.
shifting, but
His
but
knees
just shifting.
gave up. Yeah, yeah,
But just changing teams like that, in the Celtic, we know the Hornets,
yeah,
as in
yeah,
Kemba Walker has never had a fair shake with the NBA, and here's why. I feel like Kemba Walker,
yeah,
Michael Jordan never wanted to give him that super max extension, that 5 year, 221 million. Actually, the Hornets
Yeah,
lowballed Kemba. They said they're not gonna give him an extension that is worth more than
yeah,
170 million. So you see, this guy has never had a fair shake. But although I feel like he was not worth that money, because if you
yeah,
sign such an extension, that means that you're crippling the future of that team, because at this point you're going to be earning like 50 million. So you've been eating all the
yeah,
cap. So if you underperform, it's going to be very detrimental. A team cannot build around you. So I feel like
yeah.
when he went to the Celtics, he thought that he was going to get like, to the playoffs. And yeah, I mean, go ahead.
Michael Jordan is smart. If you're giving Kemba is a different type of point guard. He isn't. I don't think he's the guy you want to pay the most in the whole team. He's a very good scoring point guard. He can give you production, but when he's not scoring, you have to look at the other things. What else is Kemba good at? He's not a very good defender. In fact, you could say he's a liability on the defensive end on some most of the time. And yeah, and his 3 point shooting can be up and down. It can just go up and down. So for him, I think he hasn't done enough to earn that marks. So the Hornets decided to go in a different direction, and you see it's working. Right now they're playing with Terry Rozier and they have Lamelo. They have pretty good production with guards.
Yeah.
So in OKC, I'm reading a statement here. The OKC coach says he really likes Kemba. He wants to work with him. So maybe he could do something with him
But I feel
on
like
OKC. Yeah,
Sam Presti as a GM is a very good. He's a very good GM. I mean, just got
yeah,
that guy, man. Pretty good, pretty good. And also,
yeah,
the NBA draft lottery happened, bro. I mean, it happened last night,
yeah.
and I've
I
I've got
saw
the
that.
picks. I got the. Let me just run it down real quick. So if NBA
Yeah,
draft lottery before the lottery began, Houston had a
yeah,
14% chance to get the first round pick. Oh, Houston, Detroit, and
yeah,
Orlando had a 14%
yeah.
chance to land the first round pick. I mean,
Okay.
they were the highest. That's the highest percentage. So OKC, Cleveland, they're tied at 11.5%. Oh, and all the others. So let me
Okay.
just focus on those. But in
Yeah.
the draft order right now, we got number one pick. The number one pick of the 2021 NBA draft will go to the Detroit Pistons. Number two pick, Houston Rockets. Number three pick, Cleveland Cavaliers. Number four, Toronto Raptors. Number five, Orlando Magic. Number six, OKC Thunder. Number seven, Golden State Warriors. Number eight, Orlando Magic. Number nine, Sacramento Kings. Number 10, New Orleans Pelicans. Number 11, Charlotte Hornets. Number 12, San Antonio Spurs. Number 13, Indiana Pacers. And number 14, Warriors. So you can see the Warriors have two first round picks, and the OKC Thunder
Mm,
have the sixth pick. So this means,
yeah.
OKC has been known to draft the best. I mean, they know how to draft. I
They
respect
do.
OKC for that. I mean, they drafted
Yeah.
three straight MVPs, 2007,
Yeah.
2008, 2009. I mean, Sam Press is a very good GM, but this first, I don't know, man. I mean, I've not been following college ball as much, but these picks, bro.
The college ball at the moment. There's this guy in the G League. I think his name is Jalen. I forgot what the name is.
Jalen LeCue.
Jalen.
Is it Jalen LeCue?
Jalen. Jalen like you. Jalen. I'm trying to remember his name. Jalen Green. I'm not sure if you're
Oh,
familiar with
yes,
him. He's like
yes, I've seen him, Jalen
Jalen
Green.
Green.
So like
Yeah.
the
He's
so
playing.
like
He's playing the G League. He didn't go to. He didn't want to play in college, so he went to the G League so that he could play with like big-bodied, big professionals. So for me, he's the guy I'm looking at to. And he just went to G League straight from high school, and he's doing okay. I mean, he's playing pretty decent. For me, he must be the first pick. I mean, if the
so
Detroit Pistons don't take such a guy, because he's shown he has a lot of balls to just go straight to the G League and compete there. And also, of course, he did that because he was also looking for some money. He didn't want to play college ball for free. So I like that. I like that from Jalen Green. I don't know much about the other picks, but that's the only guy I've been following that I'm familiar with.
yo, man.
Yeah.
I think ESPN released like their top five prospects in the NBA draft. So they said
Okay.
the number one prospect is Kid Cunningham from
Okay.
he's a point guard from Oklahoma State.
Yeah.
Then we've got
Yeah.
the number two guy, we've got Evan Mobley from USC. You've got
Mm.
Jalen Suggs from he's a shooting guard. Oh, even Mobley is a
Okay.
center. He's a center for USC. Number three is Jalen Suggs, a shooting guard from Gonzaga. Then you've got your Jalen
Yeah.
Green, shooting guard from the G League, that's USA. Then we've got Jonathan
Okay.
Kaminga, power forward from Congo. So I feel like, but I don't know. Reports are saying that the Detroit Pistons are gonna take Cade Cunningham as their first pick. But in this draft, I don't think there's a consensus first round pick. I mean, first pick because it's gonna be like the 2013 draft. There's no consensus number one pick. This is the same way like the 2020 draft was. We
Yeah.
we didn't know who's gonna go number one overall. Like in the
Yeah.
2019 draft, it was different because we knew Zion Williamson was going number one.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
there was no other thing. Even in 2011, I think 2011 and 2012, we knew Kyrie Irving number one pick. We knew Anthony
Yeah.
Davis consistent number one pick. I mean, but now I feel like the NBA draft is we don't know have a consensus number one pick because both the talent is great, but there's not that guy you can say is that guy who's gonna get it right. I mean, he's the number one pick. We don't know. I mean, we just have to wait to find out to see what the NBA execs are gonna pick. So that's that.
Yeah, and this list, the list of the NBA prospects, I think some most of the time it's pretty biased because at number one they always put a guy who's like in college in the NCAA.
Yeah,
So they'd never put a guy who's in G League, even though for me, the production that I've seen my guy Jalen Green have in the G
yeah.
League is pretty high compared with the other guys who are competing in the NCAA. But excuse me. But it remains to be seen. Cade Cunningham, I don't know much about him. I see he's the number one guy. They expect him to be picked number one. But
Yeah.
there's nothing more I can say because I haven't watched a lot of college ball, and I think even in the future, more players are going away from college ball and going to compete with other leagues, maybe with a view to joining the NBA with some experience playing with actual big big men, big grown ups, as compared to playing in college with 18-year-olds, 19-year-olds. So I think that's the direction young people are going with. And for me, but still for me, Jalen Green is still the number one pick for me. He needs to
I
go
feel,
number one.
see also Lamelo Ball was playing overseas. Then he went number two
Yeah,
overall, right? I mean, guys are
he was the number
players
one guy. He was
number
the number
two.
one guy. Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, he
he
was
was
the number. He should
ah
have gone. He should have
oh
gone number one.
he should have gone
He
number
was
one.
the second pick. Yeah.
No, the second pick was James Wiseman. He went number three, but
Oh yeah, yeah,
I
exactly.
feel like
That's exactly what I'm saying by saying they never pick number one the guy who's not playing in NCAA. They always pick the guy who's in the NCAA because that's how they want their players to go. That's the route they'd like the best player to go through. But as you can see clearly, Lamelo was the best player in the draft. Everyone knew even before it had begun because he was out there competing with men in like grown-up leagues. He wasn't playing in NCAA, but they couldn't pick him number one because that would encourage other young players to use the same route, which is not favorable to NCAA.
yeah, true, man. I feel like oh no, right now not focus too much on college ball, but I'll make sure to like do an analysis and see and get some reports and do a video later maybe to see who's gonna um who's gonna draft where. But hey, I mean, it's very hard for for college players to know how they're gonna play in the NBA because some guys get in, they play well, they flourish. Some guys like they are slow. They have to like play slowly
Adjust.
through the league,
Yeah.
adjust. Like a guy like
Yeah.
Jamal Murray. Did you ever
Yeah.
expect to see Jamal Murray shine like that?
No, 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 no. He took his time. He really took his time.
Like a Kyle
Yeah.
Lowry or a Kawhi Leonard. I
Yeah.
mean, Kawhi Leonard was picked in like 2011,
Yeah.
2014
Yeah.
was in
He's
2013 was in the finals. I mean, he took like what 2 years? He took like 2 years to get the finals, and because of the system that Greg Popovich had, like he developed
yeah.
him. He didn't come in right immediately. Also,
Off the jump.
yeah, I mean, these guys they have to slowly grad. Some players just pop immediately, but some
Yeah.
guys just take some time to adjust. And that's the reason why I
Even
don't yeah, you go ahead.
I'm also looking at this guy who went to the Knicks. I'm forgetting his name. The guy who was drafted
Julius
together with
Randle.
Zion. No, together with Zion.
Oh,
The other
RJ
guy.
Barrett. RJ Barrett.
Exactly. He's really taking his time, like getting used to the league. And I think by next season he should be a very good productive player. But he's really took his time. He didn't come in from the jump with what people were expecting him to come in. But I really think he's a good example of a player who's really taking his time and like getting to know the league, getting to know his spots, how he can score, what he's going to be good at, what he's not going to be good at. So he's a good example. He's also a good example off the top of my mind.
Yeah, true. I feel like some players, as you can see, like a guy like let me just use Marvin Bagley. Like a
Yeah,
guy like Devin Booker, he was drafted 13th overall in the 2015 draft, but it took him
yeah,
some few years, some few, um, you know, to like adjust. It took some time before he got to the Devin Booker that we are seeing right now. I mean,
yeah,
that's one thing. I mean, the player development and a player acquisition and development in the league. I mean, we're not able to know very well because a guy like Kyle Kuzma, he was pretty good. I mean, in the summer league,
yeah,
but in
yeah,
the but for the Lakers, okay, when the Lakers were trash, I mean, he was pretty good. He was balling out.
yeah,
But
yeah,
when you surrounded him with LeBron and AD, my God, this guy was just exposed of his flaws. I mean, it was pretty
yeah,
hard to watch because I mean, is this the same guy who we hyped and we said that he's gonna be a great guy? But when you put him together with two other guys who are greater than him, he shrinks.
yeah,
I mean, that's the issue. It's like putting AD, LeBron, and Luka Doncic. I mean, you're not gonna let Luka Doncic play the way he plays because
yeah.
I mean, what's your take on that?
For me, a guy like Kyle Kuzma needed to go on the same route that Devin Booker took. You play a few seasons with a team that actually lets you play your game. They don't push you as much. For me, Kyle Kuzma was pushed too soon. He started showing his talents, then that soon LeBron was there already there, pushing them to the finals, pushing them to the playoffs, and he just wasn't ready. His game isn't ready. Up until now, I'll look at his game; it's not ready. He needs to be. He needs a few years of polishing it with a team where he doesn't get as much pressure. But once LeBron comes to your team, you either step up or you get traded. So that's not a situation. I'm thinking even a Devin Booker, if he found such a situation, I'm not saying that he wouldn't. Probably he would have performed under pressure, but maybe with the young players, you don't give them such pressure at first. Devin Booker came through. He had a few years with the Suns. They were bad. They let him play his game. They let him develop slowly. So for most players, that's the route that it's good for them. Same thing with Lamelo. They didn't bring him in and then gave him a lot of pressure. They just came in, they tried competing. They're not the fast seed. They're not looking to win the championship. So it's just they're developing his game, and I think in the end, is really going to benefit from that. Same thing that we are seeing with Devin Booker in this year's playoffs.
Yeah, I feel like
Yeah,
I mean player development. I mean sometimes when you draft a player, it's like a project because you can see a player like Giannis when he was drafted in
yeah,
2013. I mean, you never thought that he would pop like that. You never. I mean, the Bucks just they had to make him adjust to the system, just make sure they developed him as a player that he is right now. And you can see it took a few years. He started getting into the map in 2017 when he got his most improved
most
player award,
improved.
and also
Yeah,
his
yeah,
I think his first All Star selection, right? Yeah, that year.
yeah,
So you
yeah.
can see that guy took like 4 years to get to that MVP status. So I feel like the NBA, the
What
league needs to do that.
what the Bucks did to Yanis was amazing. That should be like the blueprint of developing a player. Who knew Yanis would turn out the way he was? Because I remember seeing a skinny Yanis, coming in his rookie and also his second year. He was he was an, I don't know what to say. Who would have thought? That was amazing development by the Bucks. I don't know if credit goes to one person or the whole organization. Excuse me. But Yannis' development was the best development I've ever seen from any player. This guy was the 15th pick, and he came in. He was so raw, and to see the player that he is right now, even though his game is he's not the most skilled, but he does the most with what he has. So yeah, for young players and even the players coming in this year's the next year's season, next season, yeah, they should pray for such a situation. They should pray for such a situation.
Yes, I also agree with you on that point because if we like if we rush players like the way the Lakers rushed like Lonzo Ball, giving him these expectations, he folded. Like a Ben
Yeah, he
Simmons, he
did.
folded. I mean,
Yeah,
if you do that to a player, it breaks his confidence
yeah,
on the court
yeah,
because a guy like Ben Simmons, you say is gonna be the next LeBron James. That's a lot of pressure. That's too much pressure. When you make a
yeah,
mistake, oh, LeBron has never been
yeah,
knocked out in the first round. And LeBron James
yeah.
took his team to the finals when he was this age. I mean, all these then this also these player comparisons really kill like the talent development. If you say like Lonzo Ball is the next Magic Johnson, I mean, or 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 Ben Simmons is the next LeBron James, or Devin Booker is the next Kobe Bryant. I mean, this kills a player's confidence because when he makes a mistake on the court, he'll be like, Kobe didn't do that. Kobe didn't flop with the ball. I mean, Kobe didn't do this. Kobe didn't. That's a problem. If you keep doing that, I mean, it hurts a player's development, and he's not going to be able to develop the confidence to be a player like that. So that's the
Yeah,
issue, man.
and some players are just not built for pressure. Like for me, Ben Simmons is not built. Same thing with Lonzo. They're not built for pressure, like to really have pressure. All they've gotten used to pressure in the college, and they're not ready for NBA pressure. NBA pressure is the global pressure where everybody is looking at you. They're not really ready. Maybe they should have took a few years to develop slowly, but they came in. Guys saw their talent. It was so raw, but it was so, I know, they were just expecting them to jump out of the gym. So for me, they are perfect examples of a player with a lot of raw talent, but a lot of pressure have been put on them, and I don't know if they are going to come back from that. Because how do you come back from that? But you can't write them off. Also with Lonzo, Lonzo is another example of a player that I thought was very overrated. Couldn't take a shot, was afraid of taking open shots. Right at the moment, he's playing with less pressure. So maybe next season we're going to see a different Lonzo, and he's developed a good 3 point shoot shot. So yeah, same thing with him. Maybe Ben Simmons needs to take the same route, go to a lesser known franchise and just develop his strengths from there and work on his game.
I mean, Ben Simmons, he just needs to find his way out of the Sixers, and the Sixers should get a good haul for him because I feel like there's some teams that can really trade for him. We don't know. I mean, maybe they some teams maybe who are tanking and are looking to for a salary dump.
Yeah,
Um, they can take on a few, but I feel like the other team that's gonna receive Ben Simmons is gonna like want something in return, like a few future first round picks, some pick
yeah,
swaps. I
definitely,
feel the
definitely.
I feel the Sixers should do that. I mean, if it's gonna cost Ben Simmons two future first round picks, some two pick swaps, just do it. Just get rid of him.
The
Do whatever
Sixers,
you
the
want.
Sixers are in. The Sixers are in compete now mode. You know they want to win a champion. Now is the time. They have Tobias, they have Seth Curry, they have Joel Embiid, they have they have the players, they have the bench. This is their time to try and compete in the East. The East, for even if it's getting a little harder, it's still open for them to go as far as the finals next season. So they should be looking to whatever it takes, even if it takes like the draft picks for the next 5 seasons. They need to get rid of Ben Simmons and bring in a guy who can really contribute to this run that they're trying to go on before Joel Embiid's prime, or even if he wants to go out if they don't satisfy his needs. Before that, it gets to that stage. So yeah, they should be looking to to strengthen and compete now. This is the time. There is no other time.
Hey, bro, what do you think about this trade proposal that I've just I was thinking about it this week when I saw it. There's this trade, right?
Yeah,
The Trailblazers offer
yeah.
Damian Lillard
Okay.
few first round picks and also some few regular players for Ben Simmons. What about that?
Hmm.
What about that?
Wow.
I mean, you're. Let's assume that you're a Sixers executive. I'm a Blazers executive. I throw you that offer. What you say about that?
So the Trailblazers are the ones giving the draft picks away. Am I right?
Both will give both.
Who's bo-
Okay,
both will
both
give draft picks?
because here's the situation, right? We've got
Yeah,
a guy in Damian Lillard, like, right? He said he's loyal to the franchise, but I feel like he's in that situation where he's gonna push the Blazers to the playoffs, but he's not gonna make it past the first round. If he's gonna make it past the first round, he's gonna get knocked out in the second round. Disappointment after disappointment, right? Then we've got the
yeah,
Sixers franchise who went out in a very disappointing way, but not to the scale of the Blazers. But we have a disgruntled star right there, and also another disgruntled star right here. But you can see the
yeah.
potential in the Sixers. I'm the Blazers GM, and you're the Sixers GM. I'm making you this offer. Would you consider it?
Definitely, very fast. Whatever it takes to get Dame Lillard. Though I think it will be highly unlikely for the Trailblazers to offer that. But I'd take it. I'd take it in a heartbeat. I'd take it immediately.
I would do it.
Immediately.
Honestly, I would do it. I wouldn't even think about it. I'd be like, when can we finalize? Let's finalize this deal. It's done deal. Blaze for
I,
Damian Lillard for Ben Simmons.
for
Because
me, that would be if I'm the Trailblazers, the first person that I'm trying to offer is a CJ McCollum. I'm not trading Dame Lillard before I trade CJ McCollum. McCollum would be the guy I'm looking to trade. Dame Lillard is the franchise centerpiece. So I need to bring in players to complement this guy if we are going to compete. And I don't think Trailblazers having Dame Lillard right now, it's their time to compete. I don't know if they will actually compete or if they're strong enough, but they need to try and compete right now. So for me, it's CJ McCollum. There's no way they're offering Dame Lillard.
But anyway, I mean, I'm trying to see scenarios where you can give away Ben Simmons. Just go away from the Sixers because he's the reason why. Also, the reason why I don't like Ben Simmons, he was actually the reason why the Sixers choked in the Game 7 of the 2019 Eastern Conference semis because you can see those semis where Kawhi Leonard shot shot that baseline shot that bounced in. I feel like if Ben Simmons had that skill of shooting that ball, I mean, it would
Yeah.
have done something. It would have done something. I mean, a three. I mean, that game was like decided by only 2 points, and it was a miracle shot by Kawhi Leonard. So, I feel like if if Ben Simmons, the starting point guard, 6'8", 240 pounds, could shoot a damn jumper, Sixers would have been still in the playoffs right now. I mean,
Yeah.
and he,
They
and
they
and
would have
also I
at
remember,
least reached the finals.
I mean the process. Every time I just keep hearing trust the process. I mean, when is this process gonna take? I mean,
It's time to
we need
break
to.
the process. It's time to break the process and just look for some other
This.
picks. Just give up on that those two guys, like just pairing them up.
I mean, it's just trying to. It's high time we broke it up. I mean, break up
Yeah.
Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid. I mean, they can't coexist together. I mean, they can't. It can't. It's either
Uh,
you give up one.
yeah, it's too many videos of Joel Embiid crying. Because remember after that game in Toronto, he was crying, he was feeling sad. Then there's got this other game, very heartbreaking game. There's only so much time. There's only so much that guy is going to take before he's like, hey, maybe I can go to the Celtics. Maybe I can go to whatever. Maybe I can look somewhere else. I know we've tried. We've really tried because Sixers have been competing for the last 3 seasons, really competing in the playoffs, and they haven't even. I don't think they've gotten to the conference finals. Am I right?
They've never. I mean, it's second round exit. Then in 2018, second round exit. 2019, second round. 2020, no, swept in the first round by the Celtics. 2021,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, knocked
Wow.
second round, knocked out by a Hawks team led by Trey Young. I mean, how embarrassing can that get to go
The
out like
time is next season. It's
no?
up to them. Next season is the time for them to like just try and push over that barrier and just via using Ben Simmons to get another guy who can push them over that barrier and like get them 20-23 points a game.
It's
Yeah,
it's it's trying to break it up, break it up.
yeah, yeah,
We don't need to we don't need to suffer every season. Sometimes I root for the Sixers, keep on disappointing. I mean, like, what's going on? I mean, what's the point? What's the point?
yeah,
You know?
yeah,
And and also on in other news, we've got the
yeah.
first game, Milwaukee Bucks versus Atlanta Hawks, game one.
Wow, wow, yeah.
Well, how
Who
do
you
you
taking?
I'm 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 taking the Bucks all day, any day. The Bucks. They got the momentum from the Nets, and
Yeah.
they're gonna beat the Hawks in five.
Wow. Like
Milwaukee Bucks in five.
Capella was really struggling with Joel Embiid. So if you
Yes.
bring in a Giannis over there, Brook Lopez, I mean it's over. The Bucks should win this. The Bucks should be in the finals. They have a lot of good pieces. They have a lot of. I don't think Atlanta Hawks have enough on the defensive end to stop these guys. I mean, Giannis was having a really hard time with the Nets because they're a really smart team with a lot of experience. But once he comes up against the Hawks, I really don't think the Hawks have have an answer for him. For
I
me, I
feel
also
like,
feel the same way. It's the Bucks.
for me, let me just say it off the bat: Bucks in five. Bucks in five. Because let me tell you
Yeah,
something, right? So you can see
yeah,
the Milwaukee Bucks. The Milwaukee Bucks have Giannis. They've got Chris Middleton. They've got Drew Holiday. They've got Brooke Lopez, PJ Tucker. They've got Pat Connaughton. I mean, they've got very good players. I mean, from three, you can't beat the Bucks. From three, right? So if
yeah,
Trey Young
yeah.
starts
You really
hitting them
can't.
threes, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, PJ Tucker, Pat Connaughton are gonna match those threes, right? Okay, what about
Yeah,
inside? Do the Hawks have a good inside game? If we throw Giannis, and if Giannis keeps on like relentlessly, like punishing the Hawks from inside the paint, Capella can't stop that. He's gonna get tired. I mean, the way Giannis has been conditioned, you can't stop him. You can't stop him inside. That's what the Celtics suffered in 2019. You remember the 2019 series
yeah,
with the Bucks and
yes,
Celtics?
yeah,
Giannis punished Al Horford until he made Al Horford quit. He made him quit.
yeah, yeah.
I
It
mean,
was it was tough to see.
I mean, it was like if let's say the Hawks, okay, they put Clint Capella on Giannis, who's gonna cover Brook Lopez? He's gonna hit a three,
You
right?
see, yeah, the other two guys are John Collins and Capella. So John Collins and Capella to compete with Giannis and Brook Lopez. Ah,
It's
come
not
on.
it's not gonna. That's a mismatch. It's a
That's a
mismatch.
mismatch. It's a
You cannot
terrible
put John.
mismatch.
You can't put John Collins on Giannis. You can't. You don't have no answer
You
for
can't.
Giannis inside. Even if Giannis
Yanis must
doesn't
be
shoot,
rubbing his hands. Yanis must
yeah.
be rubbing his hands on this series. He's like, wow, this is the team for me to like show my talents. This is the team that I'm
Yes.
going to like really punish. Because the Nets were giving him a really hard time. They were really
Yes.
smart, and but the Hawks, I think they won't have enough to stop him. This guy is going to be like scoring 30 points per game. I mean, I'm calling that. This guy is going to average 30 in this series. It's going to be
Not
so easy for this guy.
bro, bro, not
Yeah,
30. He's going to average
yeah, yeah.
40 and 20. 40 and 20 a game. Honestly. Let me just tell you. I'm not lying,
Uh,
bro. 40 and
yeah,
20.
it's clear for
Honestly.
everyone to see. Everyone can see that. Anyone can see that these guys are about to have a really big game and like punish these guys. Because in the next series, I didn't think he had the best series. We could have had, he
Yeah.
had a few couple good games, but overall as a series, I think they really exploited his weaknesses and he looked bad as like an MVP candidate and a top five player in the league. He didn't look good. But once he gets the Hawks, oh man, it is game over. Those guys are going to make this guy look like Michael Jordan. He's going to like
And
be dunking and like going off from the
yeah.
3 point line, starting his steps from the 3 point line and dunking it. Oh, he's going to show this guy. I don't know about
I mean,
him having 40 points per game, but I'm calling it 30 points per game is a sure thing.
look at Chris Middleton. Chris Middleton is a very good defensive minded guard,
Player.
right?
Yeah,
He's gonna
yeah,
he's gonna shut down. I feel he's gonna shut down Trey Young because, and here I have an explanation for that. You remember in the 2019, I'm referencing the 2019 the playoffs matchup between the Bucks and the Celtics. The primary
yeah,
defender for Kyrie was Chris Middleton, right? And we all knew what Kyrie meant for the Boston Celtics at the time, and
yeah,
we now know what Trey Young means to the Hawks at this time. So if
yeah.
Mike Budenholzer matches up Chris Middleton don't forget we've got Drew Holiday there, who
It
who
is.
locked
I
who
mean,
locked up who put clamps on Damian Lillard in 2018, the Pelicans
that
versus
will never
Blazers.
be forgotten. Will never
We'll
be
never forget.
forgotten
I
and
will
what he
never
did to
forget.
Dame Lillard.
He put, I mean, the clamps that he put on Dame Lillard. You know the type of player
Yeah,
Dame Lillard is. You can't put. He put clamps. If he did that to Damian Lillard, what makes you think he's not gonna do that to Trey Young? He's gonna put
I
clamps
mean,
on that guy.
Trae Young's run is like over. I don't see him having a good series. His run is over. Once he meets up with like Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton, come on, his run is over. He's had a good run. It was a nice first playoff run for him. He really did good, but he is not going to have a good series. He is going not to have a good series.
The Bucks. Listen here, Moses. The Bucks missed the finals in 2019 because of a Kawhi Leonard led Raptors team. What makes you think the Bucks are gonna fall? Or anyway, in BFL, the Bucks are gonna fall to a Hawks team who have no playoff
Uh,
experience. No way. The Bucks are going to the
if they
finals.
fall, if they fall, Mike Budenholzer just needs to like just disappear. I mean,
He has to.
how is that going to happen?
It's not gonna happen, bro. There's nothing.
It can't.
No. Oh, there's an echo. Oh, like I'm saying, bro. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't you can't. I mean, Moses. Kuna.
Yeah.
There's an echo. There's an
Unasikia
echo
echo?
here.
There's an echo on
Yeah,
my side.
yeah.
Can't be. I haven't done anything. Like I've just been here chilling. So I don't know. Have you put anything on your laptop or your phone?
No, 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 no. I don't know
Are
where it's
you okay
coming
now?
from. Uh,
It's not on my end. I haven't done anything on my phone because I'm using my phone.
it's fine.
Okay.
Let me, although the echo is there, but just let okay. So I'm picking the Bucks to win, and yeah, this game one is the Bucks to win it, and it's
Yeah,
gonna be a
it's
blowout.
today. It might Trae Young might put up a fight. I don't know who else might step up. I don't predict a blowout in game one, but I think from game two onwards is going to be easy. They might put up a fight, but the Bucks should win it. Although the Hawks are going to put up a fight in game one, but yeah, the Bucks are going to win it, but not easily. Not an easy win for them. That's what I'm predicting. Yeah.
The Bucks are gonna win this.
What are we saying? What are we saying with the Suns and Clippers game three?
I feel the
Are the
Clippers are gonna
Clippers
bounce.
going to show out? Yeah.
I feel the Clippers are gonna bounce back. I,
Hi-
honestly, I feel like they have to. They have to.
History has shown us that they always bounce back. I mean, if we are going via history, they should be the winners of game three.
Yeah.
Seen as how close they were in game two, so it's not like it was a blowout in game two. So they should come out and like try and revenge that game two loss. Paul George should have a big game. He should be motivated, and yeah. So the Clippers should take game three. So is that what we are predicting?
Yes, I'm predicting that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also, I mean that's I think that's just about it because I don't feel like the Suns can sweep the Clippers.
No, 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 no. The Clippers have too much to get swept by the Suns. They have too much on their roster. They have too much on their coaching staff. So no, I don't. That's not something I foresee.
But anyway, I mean, I picked the Clippers to win, and I also picked the Bucks to win this game.
Yeah,
Yeah, so I mean, that's just about it. I'm glad you came in, and I'll invite you to
yeah.
the
Thank
next.
you. Yeah, thanks for having me. We'll be looking forward to the games. Then we can talk about it. Let's see if we're going to be right on our predictions.
Ah, true, true, true.
Yeah,
Yeah, man. Hey, thanks for coming out,
yeah, yeah. No
and
problem, bro.
you're always welcome to future streams. Let's talk about the game. I mean,
Okay, okay. Yeah, looking forward to our next stream after the game three and the game one. Yeah, well, that will be a discussion for the
ah,
ages.
okay. Koheri, asante sana.
Okay, okay. All right.
Sawa sawa.
Azi, Azi, bro.
So yeah, there we have it. We got I picked me and Moses picked the Clippers to win this game three, and also we got Milwaukee winning this game one with the Hawks. And I'm confident that this is what's gonna happen because I feel like the Clippers, the game two is close. They gotta win this game. I mean, there's no other way to do it. There's no other way to say it. So yeah, I mean the Bucks, they came in strong with the Nets series. I don't feel like the Hawks pose a threat to the Bucks, and for me, Bucks in five. Let me just say it, Bucks in five, and yeah, man, I'm so happy I got Masters on the stream, guys. For future streams, I'll just be posting a StreamYard link down below. Just make sure to click it. Just talk about the game because that's what we do, man. The playoffs, the most exciting time for an NBA fan, especially when you get to these East and West finals. The road to the finals has begun, and we're going to crown a new champion. There are a couple of teams who have never made the finals. There are a couple of teams that only won one championship, and we're gonna see new faces from the West. In the East, we know, yeah, man, we're gonna see it. We're in for a treat. So if you guys like the stream, make sure to like the stream. I'll be doing more streams like this moving forward, and please be sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on notification posts, so that you never miss any new gems I'm dropping. And with that being said, man, I'm out. Peace.